If you are watching this after June 17th, you are officially under the influence of what I'm calling the Beyoncé transit. Basically, the planet of Mars, which is the planet that rules our ambition, our drive, who we are when we channel our masculinity into building something, is moving into the sign of Virgo, which is Beyonce's sign. That Beyonce just like perfectly encapsulates the energy of Virgo, which is mastery, which is perfection, which is what it looks like when we allow ourselves to become the masters of one single task rather than spreading ourselves so thin that we are, what is that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none or something. Using the word mastery, but honestly, Virgo really reminds us of what it looks like when we prioritize excellence in one area before moving on to the next. And I think that that is what separates and divides greats from people who are relatively memorable. I mean, that's why we get Beyonce, we get Michael Jackson, we get the great Virgos that we know. As Mars moves through the sign of Virgo, we want to work with that energy and channel our drive, our excellence, our hunger for building something long-lasting, sustainable, something with longevity into one singular area of our lives instead of feeling the pressure to refurbish and revitalize our entire lives to the point where we get overwhelmed and we don't get anything done. It's also important not to let Virgo's affinity for perfection make us feel like if we don't get it done flawlessly, we failed. It's so important that we channel this energy towards something that we want to see grow and evolve by using discipline and using discernment and giving our full selves, because that is a success. And there will always be results if we give ourselves fully to something. Even if it's not perfect, there's so much lesson and mastery in the imperfection of not getting it done perfectly, if that makes sense. Basically, you help yourself when you focus on honing in on one area of your life rather than overwhelming yourself with being reborn overnight. And if you work with the cosmos, you'll have that extra support. So with that, according to your rising sign, here is where Mars and Virgo is going to be transiting through your chart and what area of your life you should be funneling some extra energy towards, putting that masculine drive towards, to build something long lasting, to evolve, to give extra attention so that you can invite a new opportunity. Virgo risings, this is in your first house, so you want to Beyoncify your entire identity and physical well-being. This means that if you have evolved a lot internally, is your external reflecting that? I would do a wardrobe change. I'd change up my hair. I would refurbish the way that you present yourself to the world. If you are your own walking resume, what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be changed, what needs to align with who you have evolved into. My Libra risings, you beautiful beings, this is moving through your 12th house, which is the house of subconscious, your inner world. So you want to definitely do some mental decluttering. Are there habits, patterns, thought patterns that you are feeding that maybe don't align with the fullest version or the fullest potential of yourself? And what can you do to make sure that you kind of clean up and declutter? So there could be some therapy you want to invest in, or just some like spiritual hygiene that you kind of want to upkeep. For Scorpio risings, this is moving through your 11th house. So first and foremost, you really want to make sure that you are weeding out the friendships that are taking more from your life rather than adding. And if you don't have a sense of community, now would be a beautiful time to really invest in your friendships or building out a social circle that aligns with who you have evolved into and what it means to feel within community. But with that, 11th house is also the Aquarian house, which has a lot to do with bigger picture, larger vision, humanitarianism. So if there is a cause that really fuels your sense of passion and your sense of belonging, it's important that you find ways to invest in it, to partake in it, to really be part of something bigger than yourself. Rising, this is me, so I'm calling myself out a little bit here, but this is in your 10th house of career and how the world perceives you and experiences you. So if you have been neglecting your purpose or not really being smart or strategic when it comes to your brand and how you sell yourself and move with purpose in the world, it's time to clean that up and lock back in. Capricorn risings, this is moving through my favorite house, the 9th house. This is the house of philosophy, of travel, of learning, of expanding, of reconnecting with something that is spiritual and divine. So this is your move. I would invite you to travel somewhere. I would invite you to explore something new. You don't have to go overseas. You can simply just go to a town, a zip code over, and do something out of the ordinary so that you can be inspired and break out of habits that are maybe keeping you stagnant. Also, you know, this is a house that rules hunger and thirst for education and expansion within that field. So maybe you want to take up a course or experience some sort of deepening of education in a field that lights you up and that could potentially be invested in longevity when it comes to your career or something bigger than that. So yeah, learn something new, go somewhere different, expand. All right, Aquarius risings, this is in your 8th house, which is of death, sex, and rebirth, but also it's the house that rules our resources and our money. So now would be a good time to budget. No one wants to hear that, but it would be a good time to be very disciplined in terms of how you output your energy. Money is energy, but also just what you are allowing yourself to feed off of. Now would be a really good time to kind of do a social media audit and unfollow or clean up your timeline and your algorithm so that you are just not being fed stuff that actually isn't evolving your inner world. And Pisces risings, this is going to be moving through your 7th house of romantic relationships. If you aren't on apps, now would be a fun time to play around with the idea of them, or simply just like opening yourself up to new ways of finding love if that is what you're in search of. Maybe asking your friends to put you down, or experiencing some sort of social event where you can do a speed dating kind of thing. But beyond that, it really is a good time to do a relationship audit. The relationships that are close to you, whether they are platonic or professional, really scrimmaging through them and weeding out the ones that don't align with your highest self. Kind of like I said with Scorpio risings, but these are the more intimate relationships versus your outer community. You want to make sure that the people in your life are aware of the boundaries necessary to help you feel safe and loved and seen. For Aries risings, this is in your 6th house, which is your routine, it's your health, it's your well-being. And so if you aren't already taking care of yourself, and you know best if you have been burning yourself out or neglecting your physical routine, your diet, your supplementation, you want to make sure that you are locking back in and taking care of yourself, investing in your health. This is a really good season to prioritize your well-being, because that will invest back into your output and who you are and how you show up. For Taurus risings, this is in your 5th house, and I know that we say that, play should be fluid and boundless, but sometimes if you put routine around your creativity, you can actually really extract something beautiful. So if you've been neglecting your imagination, your creativity, your creative output, it's important to give yourself routine and regimen so that you can give priority to what lights you up just as much as you would your work or any other form of discipline, so that you can reap some sort of investment from that. Gemini risings, this is moving through your 4th house of home, and that can be your physical ecosystem, but can also be your inner world. So you want to make sure that both are reflective of feeling safe and feeling grounded. So with that, if there is changes that need to happen to your physical space, whether you want to make steps towards moving, or you want to redecorate the entire place, or maybe have some boundary conversations with people that you live with, whether it's a partner or a roommate or a parent or a family member, this would be a good time to do that. But also your inner world, your inner home, what routines and what habits, what offerings you need to offer yourself in order to feel like you are a safe space for your own spirit. Cancer rising, this is in your 3rd house, which is communication. It's how you use your voice, it's how you express yourself. And so if there are new ways that you want to sort of funnel your inner world into the outer world, you should really consider committing to those. But also, if there are conversations that are coming up where you normally would bite your tongue or skate around or walk on eggshells, maybe now is a perfect time to exercise feeling safe enough to speak up for yourself. Lastly, Leo rising, this is moving through your 2nd house, which rules your relationship with the material world, right? The things that you find valuable, but also how you value yourself. So it's come up again, guys. We need to make sure we're budgeting. We need to make sure that we're being financially responsible, but also you want to look at how you are measuring your worth and making sure that it is self-resourced and that you are not externally sourcing any sort of way to measure your worth and your value. And if you are, how can you come back home to yourself? How can you be your own sole source of worth? And making sure that you're not blowing every band on Labubu's instead of investing in a home.